I'd like to welcome Alex Landa, the CEO of Akiva Metaverse, to our platform, Autism Today. And welcome, Alex. It's really a pleasure to have you here.
Karen, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate the chance to speak with you and with your audience today. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so nice to have you here. And I wonder what got you started down this path? Like, can you tell us a little bit about, tell the audience a little bit about what got you here?
Yes, absolutely. So about 8.5 years ago, almost 9 years ago, my older son, whose name is Akiva, was diagnosed with severe autism. We went to two best specialists that we can find in Los Angeles, and independently, each one of them told us that, look, you know, your kid will never communicate to you. He will always going to need 100% help. You know, basically they gave us what, you know, being labeled as very severe autism, right? And, you know, given, you know, my roots and my upbringing, I just couldn't take that at the face value. And so my response to that was, while I appreciate, you know, your pedigree and your astute education, you know, I firmly believe that my son will communicate to me. He will play basketball with me. He will do things that, you know, you tell me right now are impossible. And we sort of stormed out of the office. So that's what got us on our journey. This is
how old was he?
So he was a little bit over 2. But fast forward, Akiva is 11 years old right now. He is, he just started in middle school. He goes into mainstream schools. So this is the first year where he does not have shadow. He used to have shadow in his, elementary school. He has a best friend whose name is Ethan. And, you know, this is another thing that specialists said that he will never have friends, right? He's bilingual. He speaks 2 languages. He's an avid reader. You know, during the summertime, he read all of my, professional books around leadership, right? And that's about 34 of them. So he's a great athlete. So in other words, you know, it's been an amazing journey so far. He's done so great because he wanted to progress, and he wanted to, be the best version of Akiva that he can be, right? It's amazing what has happened. But then, you know, what got me thinking is that how many other parents are going to listen to the diagnosis? They're going to succumb to that for many different reasons. You know, I've been fortunate that I had resources to put behind and invest into my son, right? I've been fortunate that we mobilized our entire family to help him through this, right? But a lot of families do not have those resources, and there are other methodologies that do exist, right, in the world, but they're unavailable to most for many different reasons, right? Just because they're difficult to scale, or because there could be too resource intensive, right? And so my my original thought, being a technology executive for over 20 years, is how can I use my training, my knowledge, my professional success of building resilient and systems that scale, that perform, that delight my customers, right? How can I do this for, my kid and for many other children in the world? And how can I democratize this methodology that worked for my son, right? And bring it to the homes and different facilities all around the world, right? And so naturally, you would think that, you just create an app, and put it in the app store, and it's going to work. The challenge is, with neurodivergent individuals, is that, you gotta, in order to effectively learn, they have to self-explore, and they have to you have to get the feedback from them so that you could help them get to the next level, if you will, right? The next level of progression. And so over the years, I've been looking at different platforms. So mobile platform wouldn't work for that reason. PC was too, again, it's the same situation with the PC. And so in 2012, when Palmer Luckey, started a Kickstarter campaign around Oculus Quest, right? I got really excited because wow, this is the medium that we've been craving for. It's actually an immersive environment where you could put a person in, and they can self-explore. They can have an opportunity to play, and in addition to that, as they play, they can learn a few skills, right? So again, fast forward to where we are right now. Behind me, you see a kid that's wearing Oculus Quest 2 with Akiva logo on it. And what's happening there is that this kid is actually immersed into this beautiful world of Akiva, and we have 10 different worlds now. But the point is that, so we took the methodology that was working, right? It was sort of a one-on-one education that you couldn't scale, right? And we digitized it in a way that anyone with access to this device can have that experience, right? Can have experience of methodology that's working, can have learning experience that's fun and immersive, and it produces results, right? So that's sort of where we started, why we started, what we're doing, and where we're going. And our mission, by the way, is to make sure that every neurodivergent individual has an opportunity to learn, self-explore, and thrive. So as you can see behind me, this is for our youngest members of the community, right? This is a world which is somewhat cartoonish and playful and so on. And as you progress, as you become older, you want different things. So we've built a world for children who are older, who interested in space or or dragons. So we have a dragon lair world. We have Candyland world. So we've thought about a variety of ways of how we can entice our audience, children and individuals who are older, right, to learn and self-explore in virtual reality, and then use these skills in the real world.
So, Alex, can you explain to us how this works if you've got varying degrees of severity with people with autism or neurodiversity? How do they guide through the courses? How do they select the courses? How does that work if they've got the goggles on?
Right, that's an excellent question, Vince. So the way it works is that we wanted to make sure that parents or guardians or specialists, for that matter, have a participation in this, but not exactly inside of the VR yet, right? But actually in the way of a companion. So we built a companion app. It's a mobile app that's available for Apple devices with iOS operating system and Android devices as well. And there are two modes that you can use it in. You can use it in smartphone mode or tablet mode, whichever you prefer, right? And so what happens there is that you have an opportunity to select what's happening in VR, right? So you can help your kid experience that world, and sometimes it's a helpful experience for you too, because you can choose avatars that you would think your child will like. You can choose digital gifts that they will like. For example, it could be bubbles, or it could be cars, or it could be, trains and planes and so on, right? And then, you could, basically select and change different stories, which are learning material that we have. So each one of them is a story that's giving you an opportunity to self-explore, but also you have avatars inside that are guiding you through that story and that level. So that's how it works. And the most important part, from a feature perspective for this mobile companion that we built is a casting mechanism. What it is that, as a parent, as an adult that is using this companion app, you can see in real life everything that's happening with the kid inside of the virtual reality. So you can see how they're interacting with this world, what they're doing with their hands, where are they focusing, and so on. And so that gives you an opportunity to participate and play a key role. There could be a very limited guidance or no guidance from an adult, or there could be a lot of guidance from an adult, especially in the beginning, right? But the whole, I think the wonderful purpose of this is that we give an opportunity for children to self-explore, right, inside.
The gifting, when you talk about gifting, you're talking about a reward structure?
Well, we've talked about this subject a lot with the leaders of neurodivergent community. And the whole concept of, tit for tat is really not sitting well with them. And so it's more of a gifting and self-exploration than reward for doing something right.
Can you define the gift?
Yeah, you get the digital gift like a car or a bubble or a train, and an avatar is going to send it to you, and you have it on this board. And I can show you in the videos. The videos have it, and basically in the board you can touch it, you can play it with it. So that's the shielding effect that they use in order to get more comfortable, right? So that's exactly what the gifting is.
It's kind of like a pat on the back sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just so the difference between the reward system is that if you are unable to, for example, I'll give you an extreme example. If you're unable to look and maintain the eye contact, which a lot of autistic kids cannot, right? Then I'm going to reward you with something that you like. Well, the problem with that psychologically is that, if I physically cannot do it, you're beating me to submission as a specialist to do something that I physically cannot. My brain is wired in a way that I'm watching what's happening more than actually neurotypical humans, because I'm scanning the environment. That's how my brain works. But you are beating me to submission into making me do things that I physically cannot, and then so that creates a wrong alignment with reward system, because you give me a reward for something that I'm physically incapable of doing, right? Whereas the difference here with what we built for Akiva Metaverse is we want to gift. We're gifting. We want you to have fun. We want you to have comfort. We want you to be in a safe environment. So you receive those gifts, and you understand that you got the gift for being there, for having fun, for exploring, not for some specific thing that we want you to do, right? And that opens you up to having more attention, more opportunities for you to learn, more opportunities for you to interact within the objects inside of Akiva Metaverse, more opportunities to focus and listen on what avatars are telling you, right? So that's the major difference.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
so
it is.
you're using gifts to lead them in an interactive way so they can keep being engaged with the gifts, but they don't have to do anything specific to get the gifts.
Right. And if you think about it, this is what most of the parents observe their kids, and that's the reason why we give parents an opportunity to choose the digital gifts within the companion app, right? The reason being is that at some duration of the time, kids have tenacity to certain items, right? Like, for example, my son was going through periods where, I think it started with rocks, then it went into bubbles, then it went into propellers, toilets, then eagles, And then there was a Siberian tiger. Siberian tiger was the longest. It was like 9 months. And, he would, drive most people insane with this. Like he learned about Siberia, more people than Siberian people knew about themselves, right? But he was like so focused on this item. And so, the idea was like, okay, how can we use this in order to give you an opportunity to give you what you like, not just for something, but to give you so that you're comfortable. So then you're gonna open up and you're gonna start learning better, right? So that's the idea. By the way, we haven't created Siberian tiger as a gift yet, but we're going to.
Tell us about the type of courses that you have. We'd really like to know about that.
Yes, so we focus on several different areas. Obviously at the core is communication, right? Because we want to make sure that we can sparkle even start from nonverbal and get into verbal communication as quickly as possible. So as part of the communication is speech, and within the speech we have unique opportunities to work on calligraphy and learning sounds and letters and words. In that progression, right? We work on attention because we can, track the eye gazing from, Oculus Quest perspectives, which is great because we could, figure out, okay, so how are you going to focus? How are you going to pay attention to certain things or not? And use avatars to sparkle the interest. Use digital gifts to, embellish that experience, right? We focus also on gestures because gestures is a very important part of nonverbal communication, and so we have a lot of gestures inside, such as goodbye, hello. Can you show your appreciation or love by hugging a person? And we diligently go into why this is important and how you do it properly. And you would do a high five with the avatar and get the actual feedback from doing that, which is a lot of our users, a lot of kids find it really fascinating and great. We work on situational behavior. We work on emotions. So we have different multiple choices on how you can recognize certain emotions and what you do and how you react and so on. And it's so this is more of stories or learning material or a game, if you will, for our more youth focused community, not the early childhood intervention, but those who are middle school and high schoolers, right? And we have content for them as well. But these are the probably the top areas where we work on right now. What we have in the pipeline for the future is we're going to create multiple levels of content for multiple members of ecosystem, including parents, including the neurodivergent individuals who are ready to emerge into a workforce. We want them to have an opportunity at life, and we long term we strive to be that platform, that ecosystem, that metaverse for them and for neurotypical individuals as well who wants to join, right? So we're not we're not excluding anybody, but we want our members, our community to learn skills that will help them thrive in life. And if somebody wants to learn how to be a programmer or a graphic designer or a marketer or a writer, they should have an opportunity to do that in Akiva Metaverse. The same safe environment that they used to, and they're happy to participate in those stories.
That's great.
I have a silly question.
Sure.
It's silly to you guys because you're younger, but is there a way that people can interact, like two people, or is it just more
Socially?
While they're using this?
So right now, yes. So right now there's a way of interacting through the mobile companion app. as we, building our ecosystem, we're looking into multiple ways to give this interaction inside of the VR for two people and more, right? Hopefully, I will have an opportunity to be back and actually show you what we've done in the near future, because there's a lot of R&D, so research and development happening in our team, specifically on that. How do we integrate the other members of the community into cohesive metaverse, right, where they can sometimes participate, but for the specific reason that we want at this stage for children to self-explore, we excluded this sort of interaction in our stories. They do interact with avatars, and in the future they will interact with specialists and parents and humans who will be part of it. It's an inevitable progression. It's just we haven't gotten there yet.
So as far as VR goes, it's currently only Oculus Quest.
At the moment, and we've tested multiple different platforms, Oculus Quest 2 is by far the most superior virtual reality platform experience that we can find. And from a consumer standpoint, the most affordable too, which is very important, right? It retails for about $300 in retail stores in the United States, which is a really good point if you think about it. And by the way, you don't need to buy an additional PC, or like before that was a really big barrier of entry to build something, because that solution would cost a lot, and then plus the joysticks and the wires and so on and so forth, and then you couldn't do it. But with that device you can. There are a few other devices that are coming on the market, and we will continuously test it out. And the way we developed Akiva Metaverse is that it could be transferable and transferable to different other different platforms. Is that we need to make sure first that these platforms at least as good as Oculus Quest 2, and then we because if we can't do certain mechanics as we're able to do right now, like for example hand tracking, right? It's very important. Gazing is very important. Speech recognition is very important, right? So if other platforms don't do it, then they're inferior, and then for that reason it almost doesn't make sense to put our content there. So
we love your passion, and we share your passion. It's amazing.
Thank you so much.
We really do. And we know you're gonna just rock it out, out of the world. It's just amazing.
Thank you so much for kind words, Karen. That means a lot coming from you, because you've been one of the original thought leaders before any information was available anywhere. And I think without you we couldn't even exist, because at the time people didn't even know what autism is, and what's going on. So coming from you, it is an amazing achievement already, and I'm very humbled by your words. Thank you.
Well, do you want to tell us then, now that we know what you're doing, tell us what's the next step? How do people get on Akiva?
I'm happy to announce that we're actually delivering two products. One which is called Akiva Discover, and the other one is Akiva Explore. So they're basically a combination of 100 hours of content that could be consumed by younger audience in Akiva Discover, and by audience who are middle schoolers and high schoolers in Akiva Explore, right? And we making it generally available as of today. So when and if a parent or a specialist or kid themselves, if they have an opportunity to get to our website and create an order for themselves, it is available, right? So we're happy that it's available. We're happy that we're here. But we also would like to announce another thing in terms of getting different organizations and individuals to participate in our beta testing. So as we create more content and more product, we're constantly going to have the beta testing. And most of the successful products right now, successful ecosystems right now, they constantly have these beta programs. And I think this is what will drive enormous success for us as a community, for as many to participate in this beta program as possible, right? So while we're excited about making our product generally available, we're even more excited to invite everybody in who wants to participate to become a beta tester to help us perfect Akiva Metaverse and make it better.
It's great.
That is great. Well, I think you're awesome. I think what you're doing is awesome, and you are changing the world, making it a better place for everybody. And I think that you're part of our team, and we are really excited about having you as our partner.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very cool. So
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We'll talk to you very soon.
All right. Take care, Alex.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.